This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that. You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
All the girls who are killing.
You should have seen us all dancing over here. That was Taylor Swift performing last night at the VMAs. We've got more of that in a minute. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, August 27th. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori. You guys look like little Skittles. It's gorgeous.
The brightness needs to calm down.
It's like divided over here. No, I love it. It feels like summer. I'm digging it. And Brandon, I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Taylor Swift won big at last night's award show. I know Tori is elated. She took home the coveted Video of the Year award for her song, You Need to Calm Down. You just saw it. And during her acceptance speech, the 29-year-old singer got political, calling out the White House. Watch.
I first want to say thank you to the fans because in this video, several points were made. So you voting for this video means that you want a world where we're all treated equally under the law. I want to thank everyone who signed that petition because it now has 500,000 signatures, which is 5 times the amount that it would need to warrant a response from the White House.
Time check. Ooh, girl. Taylor's Equality Act petition calls for equal rights for the LGBTQ community. Now, Tori, if you look at Taylor Swift in the last 5-10 years, even the last 2 years, people would get on her saying, why with her political platform and her love seemingly of the LGBT community, why wouldn't she get on board more politically? She's always, in so many words, or maybe not so many words, kind of said, you know, kept those two worlds separate. Why now has she combined those two worlds, and should she have?
Yes, I think she should have. I think there's 3 reasons in my mind, and again, I'm speculating here. I think 1, it's trendy to be have a stance, and I think we can't ignore that she has always been very on trend at every level. She's got a team around her, and to not take a stance would be a deficit for her, I think. 2, I think that DJ that put his hand on her butt sort of pushed her into action, and I think it made her an activist. And I think when she sued for that $1 and she got an enormous amount of support, I think people were posting Taylor on their windows in Denver. I think that she saw a new way of being. And 3rd, I also think she's older. And I think she's really ready to help support her dancers and people in her team. And I'm proud of her. Whether or not it's fake, I don't really care because 500,000 people signed up to have more equality.
Well said.
What I like the most is 10 years ago at the VMAs, we were talking about her being the victim, being to Kanye.
Yep.
Now you see her with the time clock.
She is a leader.
She's coming out. She's evolved.
And let me tell you, she speaks, people listen. Yeah. So way to go, Taylor Swift. Now, John Travolta had a very awkward moment at the show last night. If you blinked, you may have missed it. He appears to try to hand the award to drag queen J. Jolie instead of T. Swift. The moment lit up the internet with a lot of people commenting. That's right. I died when this happened because it's typical of John Travolta.
Okay, you were telling me about this earlier, Sam. Why is it typical?
There's a
what
pattern.
else has he done?
Okay, so in fact, well, no, I have the SOT. Yes. I have the video of this. Take a look.
Here to perform the Oscar-nominated, gorgeously empowering song, Let It Go, from the Oscar-winning animated movie Frozen, please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
So, Steph, you meant to say Idina Menzel.
I mean, it's a tricky name, but...
Stop. So he has a pattern. I live for John Travolta, like these clubs.
Before, on this VMAs, he said, you read it, Queen Latifah, I'm just going to F it up. He kind of made fun of himself right before he did it. And then she opened and goes, it's Taylor Swift. It wasn't a hard name. But, that was a good moment.
Maybe he just gets nervous. I mean, like, you got to think, he knows millions of people are watching. He's an actor, right? So he's used to being in private, reading his lines a million times, take 1, take 2, take... There's no take two in this situation.
Ask for them to put it phonetically. If you don't know who Taylor Swift is, ask to see what she looks like. Now I have to say, Miss Jolie killed her impression of Taylor Swift, but still.
I wonder how many more followers she just gained because of that, and how many drag shows she's gonna book because of that.
Perhaps.
He just overnight celebrity'd her.
Just like a delicacy.
John Travolta. It doesn't get better than that. It really doesn't. Lori Lachlan and her husband are heading to court. In the college admission scandal. Raquel, please share the news at the moment.
Well, Sam, Lori Lachlan and Massimo Giannulli are ready to face this college admission scandal together. Just hours ago, they touched down in Boston on a private jet. They are getting ready to appear in federal court today, and they will ask a judge if they can use the same lawyer for their trial that will start early next year. Lori and her husband both face 40 years in prison for allegedly paying $500,000 to get their daughters into USC. Now, I'll let you know as soon as they arrive in court today.
This just gets worse and worse, Tori. Like, because she's supposed to be relatable. Like Lori Lachlan as opposed to Felicity Huffman, two completely different strategies in court, right? You had one who, when she is out and about, she tries to look down, right? Totally. That's Felicity Huffman. Humble, a little bit less makeup. She's not flying around in private planes. And then you got Lori Lachlan with a big old smile on her face, acting like nothing's wrong, shopping bags.
Honestly, three words, Sam. Read the room. I mean, this is so typical, but I can't believe it's getting worse and worse. She has not understood or learned her lesson. That's what this means.
And you want to know why?
Bubble.
Because Aunt Becky thinks she's going to beat it. She probably walked in with the Jussie Smollett walk.
I can't with her. I want to root for her, just like I'm rooting for Felicity Huffman.
How can you root for someone who stood there in front of the paparazzi, smiling, posing, signing autographs?
You're right. That's why I can't.
It's not a good look.
It's not.
It's
following
really
Felicity Huffman's steps.
All right.
God.
All right. Whew. Well, we are learning more about an astronaut accused of a space crime. Yesterday, we covered the story of decorated NASA astronaut Anne McClain, who allegedly got into her estranged wife's bank account from the International Space Station. Well, now her spouse is speaking out. Summer Warden says she went public with the allegations to expose what she says is the astronaut's calculated and manipulated campaign to win custody of her 6-year-old son. Here's what she told ABC News.
I was also placed under a restraining order from Anne that I could not leave Harris County with my son without Anne's written permission. It's really scary to me that as a fit and responsible parent, that somebody can come and just literally stake a claim for possession of my child.
Say that.
Yeah, it's not her. I was just telling Sam, none of that, not one part of that is her son, and I read a little
But that's not okay to say in my book. Because biologically that's not her son, but she has, and I don't know the details of this case. You're absolutely right. And yeah, you never want to hear that a biological mother's child is being ripped away from them. So I'm with you there. But if we don't know if she has been, she has been present in this child's life for the majority of that child's life. So we don't know who the mainstay parent is.
True, but she did say the child was born about 3 years before they ever got together. And there's this sense of a lot of manipulation was because of this kid in the middle. So I think what you always say, there's his story, her story, and the truth.
And it sounds really gross and convoluted. This shocked you earlier because, again, Stephanie is from England, and our divorce system here, Stephanie, is completely different than that of the UK. I mean, it gets bloody, it gets dirty. People get bankrupt over it. So this is how it is. It's almost the norm. I bet our viewers watching who are going through custody battles can relate to this.
Well, I was just saying to Sam this morning, I was very confused as to why they even discussing if she, obviously I don't condone that she did look at the banks and the finances, but why is it even getting to that point? Surely they should be looking at the parenting, who's right for the child. And you made a really great point earlier, and you said she might not be the biological mother, but it doesn't mean that she's not the best parent for the child. And I think sometimes we do forget that.
And I think it gets played out for the public eye, because I think those divorce attorneys really encourage it to get dirty, dirty, dirty. They want it to be stretched out. They want to bleed you dry. That really is the scenario.
And let's be honest, ladies, this is a double standard. Because had we been talking about a man that is not the biological father of this child and it was trying to get custody, there's no way a judge would take the biological kid from the biological mother if this was a man who came into the life.
Oftentimes than not, the judges is going to side with the biological mother. And I think in this case too, but we'll have to wait and see all the details.
Exactly.
But it's
I mean, hacking
sad.
is still a strong criminal offense. So that's a big deal that she broke in and did that. No matter if she didn't move any funds or custody, whatever, you can't hack into someone's account.
No, you cannot.
Can't.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Done. Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, talk about your nightmare scenario. 16 children in Spain have developed what's known as werewolf syndrome, all from taking medication contaminated with a common hair regrowth serum. Now, just for reference, this is what people with werewolf syndrome look like. It is characterized by excessive hair growth anywhere on a person's body. The tainted medication was taken out of circulation, and the baby's hair growth did subside once they stopped taking the contaminated medicine. As a parent, this makes me see red because, first of all, so many children deal with indigestion and acid reflux. That's exactly what these babies were dealing with. Indigestion, acid reflux, very common, very common. And then they're given a whole new slew of worse problems because their FDA over there did not see this coming?
Well, apparently, but the children were so small that they couldn't take pill form medicine, and so it was more of like a liquid drop, and apparently somehow that combination
that
of
can't be okay.
Right, so every time you guys or people get annoyed with over-regulation, remember these children because regulation saves lives.
Yes.
The FDA probably wouldn't have allowed that. There would have been more testing. That's why. So when you're frustrated with regulation and red tape, sometimes there's a reason.
Absolutely, well said. Well, Netflix is synonymous with streaming, of course, but it turns out the service still ships out DVDs to customers in those iconic red envelopes, and it just passed a major milestone. Get this. Check out DVD Netflix employees celebrating 5 billion shipments. What? The company began its DVD by mail subscription service in April of 1998, and it still has 2.4 million subscribers. So I'll be honest, I knew that you could go like rent them like outside of 7-Elevens.
Right.
I did not know that people were still subscribing to
My
Netflix.
father-in-law does it.
Wow.
Puts it back in the mailbox, gets it out, loves it.
So this year, the first quarter of the year, in DVDs alone, they made a profit of, are you ready?
No.
$51.5 million on DVD rentals.
I think that the older generation still has their DVD.
Well, not only
player.
that, Netflix is streaming. If you don't have internet, you can't stream, and 30% of the country does not have the internet. And we need to remind ourselves of that. This is a good reminder. That's crazy.
And here I am thinking they're celebrating still having a job in the digital age, but after grossing what Stephanie said,
$50 million just for DVD.
$50 million just for DVDs.
That's not their original programming. That's
but you
none
know
of
what
that.
I can see why?
What?
Our own Jeff Schroeder, our co-host,
that's right.
still has CDs.
Right, the older generation. He's very old.
I'm like, I get in his car one time, I'm like, can I get your aux cord? Aux? Dude, I got an awesome summertime mix right now. And slid it in. I'm like,
oh my gosh, I know.
Where was
It's good. All right, well, DBL's live. Coming up, meet a girl who is learning what compassion is all about. We'll tell you what she's collecting for young asylum seekers in Heartthreads. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. MTV has not rebranded one of its biggest awards, named after Michael Jackson. But in the wake of child abuse allegations, should they? Your comments about that coming up next.
Hey guys, really quickly, I wanted to say, Jules Watson just wrote in from YouTube. I could mix up Taylor Swift for almost any other fit, pretty blonde chick myself. No one cares, and look at her smiles, LOL. And I'm not trying to convince you, but I just want to ask Jules if you know, she started writing her own songs and then started on the internet on YouTube. And she became an internet sensation, made her own songs famous. Tim McGraw was one of them. She got like 1.6 million YouTube subscribers very early on in the YouTube world, and that's how she started. So does it change your opinion knowing she wrote all of that original stuff and like came up with that and it touched a lot of people's hearts? Does that change you, or because you thought maybe she was just a record producer's like creation, knowing she actually wrote that song? Her mom said, you can't date that boy. 50 minutes later, she came out and wrote Love Story. Now, you might not like her music, but does it change your opinion of the way she is? So write me back, Jules. If you're there, I'm going to be watching.
Are you sure? Yeah.
So, anyone else watch the VMAs? Did anyone else see anything?
Thank you.
Lizzo.
What was your favorite performance?
Lizzo. OMG was so good.
Why was she so good?
At one point, they go hair toss. I don't know if you know that, and they all took off their afros, and it was just, I was dancing.
Well, U.S. Open was yesterday too, first round. It was really good.
Oh yeah, there's.
It was really
Brett Forrest
good.
is watching.
Federer,
Djokovic. There's this new guy with.
beat Sharapova. Her husband kind of trolled her with a Dare shirt.
Really?
Pretty cool.
What's the Dare shirt part?
Cause I think Sharapova.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. Congrats to Missy Elliott. She received the MTV Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award last night despite controversy. The award was named after the King of Pop in 1991 before he was first accused of child molestation. MTV says it never considered renaming the award. After the release of HBO's shocking documentary Leaving Neverland, now one of his main accusers, Wade Robson, is speaking out, calling MTV's decision to not rename the award unfortunate. So DBL Nation, did MTV make the right decision? Take it away, Brandon.
Here we go. Paul from Facebook says Michael Jackson was a phenomenal dancer and singer, but a horrible human being. However, it's an entertainment award, right? I kind of agree with you there, Paul, and I can't be a hypocrite because I want all those Confederate statues down, you know, so if the way I feel, if someone out there feels the same way about the child molestation that Michael Jackson allegedly had and perpetrated, then I have to honor that.
That's interesting. Patty from Facebook says, I don't think they should name it after anyone. Just let it be the MTV Video Vanguard Award and avoid the controversy surrounding Michael Jackson. Patty, great suggestion. Yeah, to me, it's if any reasonable person, again, it's going to sound legal, but thinks that there might be an actual threat that he did do this, don't name it after him. Change the name. If there's any actual reasoning to it, just be safe.
Chris from Facebook says, leave it alone. He's gone, and what will changing the name even do? Plus, MTV would be nothing without his contribution to music. Oh, I don't know if I agree with you. I think there are a lot of there's thousands of amazing artists that, you know, that make MTV, not just Michael Jackson. But I agree with the comment that we just had from Patty. I think it would be much more appropriate and kinder to the people that have come forward with these allegations.
Well said. Ray from Facebook says, if proven guilty in a court of law, sure. Not based on hearsay from a documentary and a couple of sketchy individuals who at first claimed nothing happened until after his death and financial hardships. Ray, listen, I hear what you're saying. In a perfect world, listen, we would all want to act after the final ruling of the court of law, not under the court of public opinion. However, the justice system is not flawless. And so for that, I think we need to look at everything case by case. And I definitely will say, if you watch that documentary, if you hear both of those individuals speak, I don't think they're sketchy at all. It made me rethink. I always thought that Michael Jackson was innocent until I saw that documentary. So I don't think it's appropriate to have the name.
All right, Tyler from Facebook says, I would disassociate with anyone with a smoking gun that points to child molestation.
Yes. Yeah.
Wealthy people get away with everything, including child molestation, and in this case, is awarded for it. I think that Wade Robson should start a petition. You know, because people are going to be conflicted on this. So
Why should he have to do that, though?
Start the petition and let the people of MTV make that decision.
He has enough on his plate.
There's no smoking gun.
He's probably also over it. Like, he's lived this his entire life. He's further re-victimized every time we talk about it.
He wouldn't have said anything about it just now then.
I'm sure somebody asked him. I'm sure it was prompted. Maybe not. I could be wrong.
I am a little confused that MTV didn't see this as a controversial thing, and I wondered if they ran with it. Because you know it's going to be controversial. You're aware of that, and you're hurting someone. I'm wondering if they did that and just didn't change it on purpose.
That's interesting. I don't know. All right.
Oh, Kat from Facebook. Sorry, do you want one more?
I thought we only had a few seconds left. Do you want us to read the last comment?
Kat from Facebook says, why would they change the name of the award? Whatever he's been accused of, it has nothing to do with his contribution to music. I just don't think you want to elevate someone of any level if they've been accused of reasonable. It might happen. I think it's the best idea to move forward.
Well said. Coming up on DBL, we'll introduce you to a girl who's putting total strangers first. It's a story all about the human condition and the power of kindness, next in Heart Thread.
DBL Nation, this is Stephanie, looking like she's tall.
I'm really not. I'm actually stood on the stage and Brandon's on the floor. I'm still probably not as tall as him with you two.
How do you feel about the Michael Jackson thing? Should MTV strip his name off that award, even though there's no smoking gun?
I think, well, that has been because Michael Jackson's been accused and it's been through court numerous times.
But
it's not been officially convicted.
Yes.
So, I mean, I just think for the sake of changing the name to, whilst they're unsure, yes, they should have maybe removed his name from it. What do you think?
Like I said, I'm conflicted and I don't want to be a hypocrite because I'm about change. Being from Virginia, I want Robert E. Lee statues gone. I want Confederate statues gone, you know. And I have to respect the people out there who feel the same way I feel about people who've been brought up on charges of child molestation as well. So I think it's something that we need to put that to vote or have some sort of petition for MTV and let their higher ups deal with it, because I know how I feel about it, you know. Like, I don't want Michael Jackson's name removed, but like I said, I'd be a hypocrite.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's a really hard situation because, I mean, what is the right thing to do? And it'd be interesting to know if Wade did come forward or not. Sorry.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about an act of kindness. Watch how one 8-year-old made it her mission to help less fortunate kids enjoy the arts. This little girl collected art supplies for refugee children who have nothing. 8-year-old Jade Tibbetts and her mom talked about people in need, including hundreds of asylum seekers in their area. Jade wanted to do something to help.
I think that all kids should be able to express themselves with art and be creative.
So Jade and her mom collected art supplies and assembled kits. Then they donated them to a local organization called the Root Cellar.
8-year-old kids want to go to Target and pick out a toy for themselves, and she's like raising money to make art kits for kids. So like, she's my new hero.
Helping others is just something that comes naturally to this 8-year-old.
She is a good kid who wants to do good things.
I like doing it for them. Makes me feel really good.
Jade, on behalf of everyone here at DBL, you're our hero as well. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to Beauty Blast, guys. Thanks for joining me, and if you didn't know, I'm Jere for the Slay, and today we're talking about some of the new beauty trends that are coming. Now, I had to use my sidekick powers and go ahead and look into the future a little bit to see what's going on with the beauty world. We've seen a lot happen in the last couple of years, from big bushy brows to these crazy highlights on the face and everything in between. But I feel like we're actually rolling back into some great eras with what's going on in the near future for fall beauty trends. Now, for our 2019 fall beauty trends, I'm seeing monochromatic looks everywhere. Now, these are great because you're using something like a lipstick that you're wearing. Think of a red lipstick, and you're taking that same color and applying it to your cheeks, and maybe even to the high temples of your cheekbones as well. And then sometimes, like we did with Lex a couple weeks ago, go back and look at that video, even using it on the eyes. Now, I'm seeing this pop up more and more on fashion walkways, so I'm thinking it's gonna catch on into fall as well. Now, another look that I see coming on up is graphic liner. Yes, I'm here for this look so much. Remember the 60s, very like Kennedy-esque, those big wing liners, or sometimes more of like that liner that just is etched out on the eye, and more design looks overall in general. These are great for really making sure that you're making a look that is saying, you're making a look that says something, okay? You can really step out into these looks, which I'm here for. Take any type of liquid liner. My personal favorite is actually Maybelline 24-Hour Precision Studio Liner. It's thebomb.com and it's cheap, honey, so you never have to worry about it just going out on you, okay? Now, for more fall beauty trends, let's talk about some more actually next week, and you can check part 2 out for our next video. Go ahead and make sure that you're following at Jure for the Slay and Daily Blast Live for more beauty blasts, and we'll see you guys next time.
So I'm Jeff Schroeder, and we're all going to be learning a new word today. So I'm just randomly going to pick something out of a dictionary that's already been preset, and I'm going to give you my take on what I think it is. So let's get our first word. Chlorofluorocarbon. This is definitely on the table of elements, and you inhale this, whether in a gas or pill form, and it makes you run super fast. Chlorofluorocarbon. I didn't get that right at all, did I?
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Tori?
Kevin Ang says, not surprised by that. There are many people who don't stream, especially the older generation.
So the Netflix.
Yep. I think so. Like, my father-in-law loves going to his mailbox every day. It's like,
and a lot of people don't have the privilege of streaming.
Yeah.
We have to remember that 30% of our country does not have the privilege of having the internet,
Yeah,
and
but
that's a reality.
You have to schedule your Netflix and chill days in advance.
That's okay.
Because of shipping.
That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
I'm an instant.
I used to love going on a Friday night with my mum and dad and like picking out a DVD.
oh, God,
was
going to
so
Blockbuster.
good.
I miss going to
Me too.
Blockbuster.
Well, Jules Watson says about Michael Jackson, erasing the good he did doesn't make the bad he did better. Every person is light and dark.
That's interesting.
So I just think some people are darker in terms of evilness.
I think child molestation, there's a hard line there.
Yeah.
I do,
Level.
and I get it. A lot of people feel that these are just accusations. I would encourage you to watch that documentary because it is thoroughly convincing. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Take care.